58 people were killed in the 1 October shooting, and that includes Carrie Parsons. You see her there on your screen. She was just 31 years old. Now her parents have filed a wrongful death lawsuit against gun manufacturers and dealers, blaming them for the massacre. Tony Dokoupil sat down with them in an interview you'll only see on CBS.
How is it possible for a shooter 32 stories up and hundreds of yards away to hit your daughter fatally?
It's the power of these weapons.
Yeah, these are weapons of war. So you don't have to be a marksman to shoot 300 or 600 yards. He didn't target anyone. He just mowed them down. They didn't have a chance.
So that full interview is coming up on CBS this morning. We have Tony Dokoupil joining us live this morning to talk about this exclusive interview with the Parsons family. Tony, thank you for joining us here this morning. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, John.
Obviously, here in Las Vegas, we've profiled many of the families affected by the shooting here in town. First of all, before we talk about the lawsuit, tell us about Carrie. Tell us about her family.
Sure. So the lawsuit is very interesting, and this family is as well. They are a tight-knit family, and prior to this, they were a very, very happy family. In fact, inordinately so. Just 1 month before the shooting, Carrie had become engaged. Her parents were beginning to plan a wedding for their youngest daughter, and she was successful professionally. Her career was going well. Everything seemed to be coming together. She's 31 years old, big sports fan, just an excited person looking forward to her life. And then this tragedy in Las Vegas. And what her folks are saying in this lawsuit with their lawyers is that this never should have happened, because while there will always be disturbed people in the world, disturbed people could only do this if they could get access to weapons as powerful as the ones used in Las Vegas. And in particular, what they're asking is that a ban on machine guns, which has been in place since the 80s and regulations for decades even prior to that, should be enforced, because what the shooter used there in Vegas was in effect a machine gun. It was marketed as a semi-automatic rifle, but easily convertible into something that shoots with really automatic fire. And that's how you get 1,000 rounds in under 10 minutes, and that's how you get a situation where somebody hundreds of yards away can be hit with a single bullet. That's how Carrie Parsons died, and bleed to death right there on the scene.
Tony, when you spoke with Carrie's parents, you kind of addressed this a little bit, but the goal of the lawsuit, specifically targeting the gun manufacturers and the dealers, their ultimate goal is what?
So their goal is to make the AR-15 style rifle, that military style rifle, to get it off the market, because while they target, there's a modification there that turns a semi-automatic into an automatic, or simulates that effect. That's been banned, in fact, by the Trump administration. But it's an easy Google search to find that people can do that very same thing with a rubber band. Very expert people can do it with just a shoulder, a shoestring. So they feel like there is no fix here. As long as the AR-15 style rifle is sold, and by the way, it's the best-selling semi-automatic rifle in America, as long as that's on the market, it's going to be available to people who want to do maximum damage in a minimum amount of time. And so ultimately their goal is to get it off the market.
Well, Tony, we've discussed the issues with those bump stocks as well here in Las Vegas, as we've been affected by the shooting as well. We look forward to seeing this interview later on this morning on CBS This Morning, and we appreciate you joining us to talk a little bit about it. Appreciate it, Tony.